there is the repeated washing, ironing, and sorting of articles, each marked with the child's name to encourage responsibility. A home baker supplying fresh goodies daily. Staff cooks, dining room supervisors, and housekeepers must be employed. The campus hospital guards the health of the Tresslertown family. The doctor calls regularly, but minor ailments receive attention from the staff nurse, whose chief duty is a program of prevention. Dental facilities and services are also available in the hospital. The women of the Tressler Orphans Home staff and also the men necessarily possess unusual qualities of character and understanding. To maintain such a leadership, adequate in number and ability, means provision of proper salaries, suitable living quarters, and congenial relationships. Only 25% of the annual home expenditure is definitely underwritten by the church. The endowment provided by givers of bygone and present days supplies income for another 25%. The remaining 50% must be received from special offerings of churches and interested individuals, from parents of children, and other sources. To direct and supervise such an enterprise requires the constant attention of an administration headed by Mr. Luther D. Grossman. His problems are those of a father multiplied 100 times. But to understand what he considers his chief responsibility, we'll let him speak for himself.
It is but natural that most people think primarily in terms of the material needs of children. They must be met if life is to continue. However, out of the lifetime spent in working with children and youth, there has come to us a growing conviction that life is more than food, raiment, and shelter. Important as these things are, there must be brought into the minds and hearts of children a fuller understanding of life. They must be helped to discover and must receive encouragement in the development of their God-given talents. Influences must be brought into their lives that will assist them to find in a life of service real joy and satisfaction. To accomplish these things in the lives of the girls and boys in Tresslertown is our real responsibility, but also a glorious opportunity to serve growing youth. We would like now to show you how your church, through the Tressler Orphans Home, is endeavoring to accomplish this important task.
To discover and develop their God-given talents, every child at Tressler attends the public schools. This emphasis on education goes back to the beginning. Marie, while you're waiting for the bus, would you give us...
It started with Colonel John and Elizabeth Lloyd Tressler. In 1848, they began the Louisville Classical Academy for Christian Education of Young People. First classes were held in the spring house on their farm. Later, the academy was moved to a brick building erected east of the spring house. This plaque tells about how the building became the Tressler Orphans Home. It was named to honor the founders of the academy by their son, David Lloyd Tressler. Here is his picture. He served as the principal of the academy, which became a soldiers' orphans home after the Civil War. The first contribution to our home was from him.
Thank you very much, Marie, but I think it's time you were getting on that bus for school. All of the children go to schools of the Green Park Union District. Younger children are taught in local elementary classes. Older boys and girls leave by bus for high school, where they enjoy broadening friendships with children from Louisville and neighboring communities. At high school, Marie has a chance to prepare herself for specialized post-high school training, to join the many alumni of the home who've entered practically every field of service. Funds for the continuance of education are laid aside from the annual Children's Day offering. An extensive worship program centers in the Children's Memorial Chapel, thus continuing the tradition of Christian training established by the founders in their classical academy. Tuesdays and Thursdays, the home family gathers here for weekday chapel, with older children and staff members conducting the devotions. Some evenings, chapel is held at the hillside altar. The warm glow of the setting sun gilds the pages of God's holy word, and children's voices glorify the Creator of heaven and earth. The primary division is an important part of the Sunday school organization, whose activities are planned by an association made up of teachers, officers, and representatives. The children participate in electing officers, conducting business, and outlining various phases of the program. The same policy of participation by youth prevails in the Children of the Church and Young People's organizations. Girls and boys assisting as teachers receive experience for later service to the church. Through the year, special observances mark each season. Christmas brings its tinsel and evergreen, and a beautiful candlelight service, wholly in charge of the young people. On Confirmation Day, after weeks of study in the Catechism, the class is received into church membership by the pastor of Tressler Memorial Lutheran Congregation of Loysville. Children's Day, when friends throughout the church are thinking of the home, is celebrated at Tressler, too, with appropriate exercises especially for the little folks. But it is in the regular Sunday worship service, with its robed choir processional and rows of happy children, that the presence of God is truly felt.